Good morning, everyone. My name is Trevor, and I will be your stripper this morning. And for your stripping pleasure, I'm going to be getting this 1954 Cadillac Coupe Deville down to bare metal. So let's have a closer look at this thing and see what kind of condition it's in. So on the firewall, it's all pretty solid. We got a little bit of rust, but for how old this car is, it's not in bad shape at all. I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a lot of Bondo on this thing. There usually is. And this thing is just a monster. The floor, we got some rot coming through on both sides, but all in all, it's in pretty decent shape. They left the doors on. I'm probably gonna leave them on for the first dip just to cut down on time, then pop them off after that. Come to the trunk area. That's probably gonna open up a little bit. There's a lot of pitting. Not a lot of rust holes though. I'm sure we'll uncover some surprises. Quarters look pretty straight, but as I said, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of filler. Okay, so I'm about to get this in the tank. I might sand on it a little bit just to get under the paint and speed things up. But with the trunk lid and the hood that I already dipped for this, the paint just flew off. Like one dip, everything came off. We'll see with this one, but just to be safe, I'm probably gonna rough it up a little bit. But I'll see you in a few minutes when we lower this monster into the Alkaline dip. I just finished a Cadillac after its first alkaline dip, and holy crap, 99% of everything came off of this car. I wasn't expecting that. I knew it was going to be pretty easy because it was old paint, but this is absolutely great. I am going to put it in the alkaline one more time because underneath there was some pretty thick undercoating, and we're going to take care of the rest of that. But I'm going to have a quick look at this thing with you guys, and we'll see what's left. This thing's in really solid shape for how old of a car it is. It's probably one of the best Cadillacs I've ever seen come through here. The firewall has some rust on it and a little bit of pitting, but nothing ridiculous. We did leave the doors on. I'm probably gonna pop these off before we put it in the acid. Have a look inside. But the floor's pretty solid. I mean, you got these big rust holes, but that's not too bad. Take a look up here. We got some adhesive there still that'll be taken care of in next step. Come to the quarters. There was a decent amount of Bondo, and there are a few patches here. You can see some Bondo tucked in between those patches. They're pretty solid though. In the trunk area, really good condition, honestly. We got some pitting, no real rock coming through though. We had a little bit of buildup of filler there and on the opposing side. Come to the passenger side quarter. There was a big patch of filler there. You could see where they ground on it. Open this door. Have a look from this side. Some rock coming through, just in the front really though. It's about time that I have a car that's a little easier to remove the paint. I mean, stripping ain't easy, but this one's making it look pretty easy. I'm gonna get this back in the tank and I'll see you in a little bit.
The 1954 Cadillac Coupe Deville is all finished up and down to bare metal. This car made for an awesome video. The paint just melted off and it was pretty rusty, but nothing too crazy. I think it took a total of 2 dips in the alkaline bath and 3 dips in the rust removing acid. So this was a pretty straightforward, easy dip. This car is in great condition also. There was some repairs done to it and a little bit of filler on it, but for how old this car is, it's in great shape. Let's have a closer look at this thing and I'll show you what we're working with. So up front at the firewall, everything's really solid. There were some repairs. You can see this bracket here was welded on, but that's about it. Come along to the doors. We did leave the doors on because the owner wanted to leave the doors on. Not too big of a deal. See, the floor here rotted out a little bit. That's definitely going to need replaced, but that's about the worst of it. Still a lot of good metal here. We got some rot coming through in a few spots, little pinholes, but nothing too crazy. Come along to the driver's quarter. There's a patch down here welded in. You can see there was a good amount of filler on there. And towards the back, there was some filler. You can see some grinder marks. Come along to the trunk area. It's pretty solid back here. We do have some pitting and there is some rot coming through in a few spots, but still a lot of good metal here. There are some patches welded, as you can see, but that's the worst of it in the trunk. And there is some leading down here, you can see, and there's some thick lead there and on the opposing side. Come along to the passenger quarter. You can see there was a ton of filler here, and those grinder marks are pretty deep. But other than that, pretty straight. Open this door, have a look from this side. All in all though, this thing is in great shape. So as you can see, this is going to be the start of a great restoration. This car is very solid. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. And I know a few of you were asking, do I dip the hoods, trunk lids, and all the other parts for these cars? And I do. I usually post those videos in my shorts. I think I have the trunk lid and the hood video in my shorts. Make sure you go check that out. Again, I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you at the next car.